Hi, I'm Dr. Drew, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is a channel not on medicine, but on all the other aspects needed to live our medicine lives. Today, we're going to be talking about the disadvantages of stocks. So, the last time we talked about the advantages of stocks, but as with any investment, there are also potential downsides to consider. So, what are the disadvantages of investing into the stock market, whether it be a single company, which increases your disadvantage, whether it be a mutual fund or an index fund or ETF? One major disadvantage of stocks is the potential for their volatility. Stock prices can fluctuate greatly in a short period of time, which can lead to significant losses if the stock is sold at the wrong time. When the market goes down, your emotional brain is going to play havoc on your frontal brain, whether you believe it or not. And as Warren Buffett would say, you would need a certain level of aptitude to be a stock investor. Now, if the stock market goes down and you believe that the world is going to come to an end and you essentially sell to convert your investment into saving or cash, you've essentially fully realized that loss and will never be able to recover that loss, at least from that particular investment. The important thing to do is to hold on, or talk to your financial advisor to hold on for the long term. That's essentially one of its main downside. This volatility causes a lot of emotional stress and make it difficult to do rational decisions about finance. Do not underestimate. Another disadvantage of stocks is that they're not guaranteed investments. I don't think any investment in the 21st century with the legal system we have is guaranteed. Unlike bonds, which typically have a fixed interest rate, the returns on stocks can vary greatly. This means that there is a risk of losing your entire investment if it goes bankrupt, or companies go bankrupt, or is performing poorly, or if we're in a recession or depression. Additionally, stocks are often subject to market fluctuations, which can be difficult to predict. This means that even a well-performing stock or stock market investing, like index funds, can experience a downturn due to factors outside of the company's control, such as black swan events like COVID. And so, why is it important to know the disadvantages of stocks? But I don't think we need to go into this, but it's important to know that investing in individual stocks or investing into an index fund has its caveats. So investing into individual stocks places you at systematic risk, which essentially you have a single point of failure if that company goes bankrupt. Various companies available, that have showcased that over one's lifetime, and you can read it through history. It's also time consuming to look through the financial statements if you're doing individual stocks. Now, if you're doing an index fund where you're trying to reduce the risk of systematic exposure, then that requires a significant amount of research to look through the fund fact sheets and to know what the maximum drawdown is, whether you're capable emotionally of handling the maximum drawdown in whatever time period that index fund has data on. As busy doctors, it may be difficult to necessitate the amount of effort and time required to stay informed about these companies which we're investing. Now, in my case, I do believe that this is a good, important family skill. That's why I'm creating these videos, to create that skill set over time, because I'm not looking to make, I'm not looking to become rich overnight, because I don't think any of those strategies are reasonable for us as risk-averse investors. So by creating these videos, I'm trying to improve my own skill, and that is why we're talking about the stocks. Now, how can one use this to our advantage? Well, one way to mitigate these disadvantages is to diversify your portfolio. So if you're doing individual stock picking because you like the dividends that the company is providing, then you can diversify them by picking a number of stocks. But that does mean that you have to do research through various platforms, simply Wall Street, or not an endorsement to any of these companies, but you have to look into their financial statements and see if they're a dividend aristocrat or dividend queen or king or whatever it may be. If you're using an index fund, then you know that you're getting the diversification. You're using a passive, low-cost index strategy. If you're using major companies like Vanguard or Schwab or iShares or Fidelity or whatever it may be. Another important strategy to consider investing in index funds or exchange-traded funds is that they provide all-in-one ETFs where you can get 80% stocks or 20% bonds. And essentially, you have reduced the fees as to what one could financially reduce the fees down to, because fees do affect your investment. We will have future videos where you can see how fees affect your investment. And in fact, the vast majority of the information has been on the effect of fees on your investments, mutual fund fees, and various books like Beat the Bank by Larry Bates, Random Walk Down Wall Street, Common Sense Investing by John Bogle have been written on this particular concept. So we're just past 5 minutes. So in conclusion, investing in stocks can be a great way, and in fact, it's touted as the best way to build wealth. But it's important to be aware of its potential downsides, some of which we discussed here today. By understanding the risks and taking steps to diversify your portfolio and making informed decisions about your investments and working with your financial advisor, you can work towards your financial goals and live the life that you have dreamed about. So on that note, a few action items if you'd like to take back control of your time and money and follow the exact frameworks used for affluent positions, and check out the link in the description below. I make these videos because I'm passionate about fighting burnout in 10,000 positions by 2025, and these videos are a legacy for me on that aspect, as well as knowledge that I'm going to pass on to my family. Come and join my community of like-minded physicians on Facebook group, where we share resources like cheat sheets, calculators, and everything to live our best medicine lives. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you for taking care of your patients. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and all the good stuff. And I'll see you in the next episode.